what is going on, video game guys, and welcome back to Minecraft Story Mode Season 2! Well, last episode, we defeated the admin, or at least the Prison Marine Colossus version of him, and then the trial was tapped in Eternal Winter, and we had to go to his ice palace. One second, I need to mute the TV so that it doesn't get an echoing effect of the recording. There we go. And then we had to go to his ice palace and tackle a bunch of challenges, which involved puzzle solving, which was awesome. Not the fact that Jack was there, that was less awesome. And the fact that Raider was there, and Stella, and the stupid llama, that was also less awesome. A lot of less awesome things about that. Not as good as the first episode, but still, in the end, Petra was kidnapped by the admin. That is not okay. We need to rescue her. And episode 3, which I believe is called Jailhouse Block, I think, has arrived. And I'm not sure what to think about it. Yeah, I know I said on Twitter I was excited for this episode. But, okay, you know what, okay, I always do this. Timestamp on screen now if you want to skip to the actual episode. If you don't want to skip to the actual and you want to hear me rant, then here we go. So let me just explain my thoughts. First thing comes to my mind when I see Jailhouse Block, which is a prison break episode, allegedly, is The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 3. Now, if you haven't played this season, then here's the best recap that I can give. And no, I'm not worried about spoilers because the episode was released in 2014. I'm guessing that if you haven't played it yet, you're probably not going to. Okay. So there's some very, very unfortunate circumstances in the episode prior. Clementine and her new survival group are taken prisoner at Carver's Shelter, which is a hardware store which was turned into a mini prison for our antagonists. The episode didn't really move the main plot forward all that much, because it was all spent just trying to escape the facility. Now, don't misconstrue my words. I didn't dislike the episode. I think it was an unnecessary diversion from the plot. Definitely an unnecessary diversion from the plot. But the episode itself was actually pretty good. There were lots of jokes, good character moments with pretty much everybody. An intense conversation between Clementine and Carver, that was incredible. Awesome action sequences once the breakout actually got underway, and just overall it was a really good episode. I'm not trying to criticize In Harm's Way, the third episode, at all. What I am trying to criticize is the blatant repetition from The Walking Dead Season 2 to Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. You can't possibly tell me that it's an accident the third episode of both seasons is a prison break episode, especially when the lead writer of this season also worked on The Walking Dead Season 2. Specifically, he was the lead writer on episode 4, Amid the Ruins, but he was still a part of the writing team. And for all I know, this episode could feature some really good action sequences, and maybe a smart way to escape, because we all know we're breaking out of this place somehow. More funny moments, more building opportunities, more puzzles, and perhaps even some really good character moments with Jack. That was a funny joke right there. No, seriously, who the heck likes Jack? As in, genuinely thinks he's a good person to be around? Nobody? That's what I thought. Nobody likes Jack. That's why I was so happy to get rid of him last episode. But no! The game decided that I wanted to save Jack regardless of the fact that I've been treating him like garbage since I met him back in Hero in Residence. Needless to say, while I am excited to see how this episode winds up, I am not excited, not even a little bit, to be stuck in this place with Jack. Jack, of all people. Lucas and Radar ran off back to town. Snappy and Stacy are already back in Deacon Town. Olivia's in Redstonia. Axel's in Boomtown. Ivor and Hubba are off in the Portal Network. And Petra was kidnapped by the admin. This means the only character who will be accompanying me on this prison break is Jack. F***ing Jack. And nobody likes Jack. I would take a rock as my companion. Just pick a rock off the ground. Put it next to me. I'd rather have the rock as a companion. At least the rock isn't gonna talk. Ugh. Now, if you remember, I said at the end of Giant Consequences that I was strongly contemplating replaying this episode to send Jack to get the clock and have Petra accompany instead. However, I also didn't want to pull an Emily is Away 2 and change my dialogue choices and a whole bunch of other stuff, because if you remember in Emily is Away 2, or maybe you didn't watch that, I ended up talking to Evelyn and not Emily when they have that split in episode 3. So, what I've done instead, is it in extras that I can... No, it's not in extras. It's in save... Nope, wrong. I don't want crowd play. Settings, save files. Yep, here we go. Okay. So what I've done is I've compromised. Just like in Season 1, when Petra's life was on the line, I have another save file ready to go. So what I did was I copied the current save file. I copied YouTube Walkthrough, or YouTube Walk, because apparently that's the maximum character limit. I copied that over to Save 2, renamed it to Jetra, and then restarted episode 2 from there. I then had my Let's Play open to my left, and I used that to see which dialogue choices I picked to keep my choices 100% consistent. Only differing at the part where I had to send someone to go get the clock. This was annoying at times because I would press the wrong button and then I need to go exit, go back into the episode from the last checkpoint and carry forward. Regardless, with this backup save file, if anything bad happens to Petra, I will be ready to switch over immediately. With that backup plan in place, though, I'm still not excited about Jack being the only character to accompany me this episode. Wait a minute. Oh, Jack isn't going to be the only character to accompany this episode. Right. I completely forgot about that. He may not be a returning character, but Donovan Patton is voicing the warden of this prison. I am super excited for this. Why? Well, if you don't know, then you don't know who Donovan Patton is. Donovan Patton was the guy who played Joe on Blue's Clues. I know we can go into the whole Steve versus Joe argument, but I have so much to say that would be a different video in and of itself, which I'm not going to make, by the way. We're here today to talk about Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. So, I think they were both incredible hosts, incredible episodes, but I'm beyond excited to see how Donovan Patton portrays the warden of this facility, and it hit me like a slap in the face when Eric Serp tweeted about it on Twitter, because at the end of episode 1 in the credits, it says Warden Donovan Patton, and I even screamed at it saying, "Who's the warden?" And I still didn't make the connection. It hit me like a slap in the face. And on top of that, there's another new character, Big B Stats. And if you don't know who he is, he's a huge Minecraft Story Mode fan. A large majority of the videos on his... He's a YouTuber, by the way. A large majority of the videos on his channel are Minecraft Story Mode centric. But he also makes videos about Minecraft, Roblox, or Escapist 2, from what I've seen. I don't regularly watch his content. I'm not even subscribed to him. But the reason I'm so excited to see him in the game is because he's such a big supporter of the series, and he's finally getting his chance to shine. Honestly, because of how much he talks about the series, I half expected him to be the White Pumpkin last summer in episode 6, and they just didn't announce his participation in the episode to conceal the surprise. As you know, this was not the case, but I was expecting it because of how dedicated he is to the series. So, yay, new voice talents! I'm excited to see how these guys do. Actually, wait. Okay, before we jump in, I do want to talk about one more thing. Look, I know I talked about this a lot last episode, but I want to talk about it again because it's this game's biggest issue right now. Okay, well, I shouldn't say that. The game's biggest issue is its continuity errors, but the story's biggest issue is the admin. He's just... Okay. I have a lot to say about the admin, so bear with me for a second. When they first introduced the admin at E3 over the summer, the biggest thing that they were trying to push was that he was just his smartest opponent yet. His smartest, his most powerful foe yet. They made it seem like the admin was going to have a big plan to destroy society, or, I don't know, that it'd be a race to find some powerful artifact or something like that. And, I don't know, it's just, it was intriguing because the main antagonist of the first season was the Witherstorm, and, well, you know, it was fun and all. The Formata Bomb and going inside the Witherstorm was all fun. It was all fun and games until Ruben passed away. Long live Ruben! But it's just a monster. It was one-dimensional. It was a giant monster who knew nothing other than destruction. But then Telltale stepped up their game a bit with future villains. They made you despise Aiden and the Blaze Rods. Blaze Rods in episode 5. The White Pumpkin was, I mean, it was just a fun little mystery to, quote-unquote, mystery to solve. It wasn't that deep of, she wasn't that deep of a villain. Yeah, she had motivations at least, which is going to be an important talking point for later, but she definitely wasn't the best villain. Their best villain is Palma, but I'll talk about that in a second. Oh, builders, man, I talked about that at the end of episode 8. That was a weak build-up. They could have done so much more with that, and they didn't. But Palma was a supercomputer with intelligence far exceeding the heroes. Its downfall was that it wasn't super powerful. Don't get me wrong, Palma was dangerous, Harper said so herself, but there wasn't any feeling of, oh no, Palma's gonna destroy the world. There was still a reason to care about the conflict, it just that the Palma wasn't all powerful like the Witherstorm. You saw how dangerous Palma was, but you didn't have a reason to think, oh, we're all gonna die. I guess technically you were gonna be trapped in eternal slavery, but I don't know. So that's why the announcement of Season 2's main villain was so exciting. The admin, as someone with complete control of the world, extremely intelligent, Jesse's greatest challenge yet. That was what raised the hype for the second season so much. This giant Prismarine Colossus can destroy an entire town with just its footsteps, as seen at the start of Giant Consequences, and it built the world with its incredible mind. How could they possibly screw this up? Well, let me tell you, folks, they screwed it up. Oh man, did they screw it up. Now, the first episode showcased the admin brilliantly. A giant prismarine colossus burst through the wall and demonstrated its brute force right then and there. Then he spoke to Jesse, establishing a creepy personal connection to a monster that we've never seen before. Then, with only his mind, he summons floating water and starts to flood the sea temple. In just 5 minutes, we've seen just how powerful and intelligent this new villain is, and this is further reinforced by his voyage to Beacon Town. His deep, booming voice is incredible, and adds even more weight to his words, sending chills down your spine. And then, episode 2 happened. So they start off, and you can immediately tell that something is different. What's different? His booming voice. Where did it go? Nobody knows. His voice is still deep, but rather than sounding menacing, he sounds comical, rather than, "You really got my attention now." It was, I know that probably sounded really, really loud to your pathetic tiny ears, but, yeah, let's fight now. What the heck happened? Okay, oh, but it gets worse. It gets much worse. Then we defeat the Prismarine Colossus version of the admin in episode 2! Why? Sorry, this version of the admin is on the cover of the game. And then you kill him off to replace him with an Olaf ripoff? What was going through your minds? Why a snowman? Now, credit where it's due, while the snowman version of the admin is completely moronic and it should never have even been conceived, his final form is awesome. It doesn't have the menacing or peel or the deep, booming voice of the Prismarine Colossus, but now he can fly around and is able to match the wit of the Prismarine Colossus, just not as physically intimidating. However, the visual appearance of the admin is by far the least of their worries. The biggest issue right now is his motivations, or rather, the lack thereof. Let me ask you something. What's the admin's plan? No, really, what's his plan? If you can tell me with 100% certainty, without simply guessing what his plan is, then I will stop talking. Oh, what's that? You can't? I don't blame you, it's not your fault. There is nothing in the game that even kind of tells us what this dude's plan is. We're about to start episode 3! Let's review the events centered around the admin since he was introduced to us at the end of episode 1. So we travel to a sea temple in search of something to close up a heck mouth, which really just seems like it was a weak segue to the introducing the admin, and they would bring Jack along for some unknown reason. We retrieve the structure block, but once we do, the admin makes himself known. Presumably upset for breaking into his temple, he tries to kill us, but we escape. Then, presumably as revenge, he comes to Beacon Town, ending episode 1. That's a lot of presumable things, by the way, but moving on. So episode 2 starts up, and before the admin starts attacking the town, he invites Jesse up for a little conversation. He says he left the gauntlet there for Jesse, presumably to free him from the sea temple, and then he says it's time for Jesse's true test, which is to fight the giant Prismarine Colossus version of the admin. After emerging victorious, the admin resurfaces, this time as a snowman, an Olaf ripoff. He condemns Jesse's town to eternal winter until he retrieves its clock from a temple, full-on Indiana Jones style. If you question his intentions, he tells you he's doing this, quote, because it's fun, unquote. Okay. So he eventually tells you that his temple was designed to separate the strong from the weak, and he wants Jesse to be his partner. Okay. So after Petra retrieves the clock, she is doomed to become his new partner, and Jesse and Jack are condemned to a prison. Okay, let's dissect that. First of all, why try talking to Jesse if you're just gonna try and destroy his town? What's the point of that? Just so you can have a little Mordrock moment? That's why I gave you the amulet, to guide you along your way. That's why I left you the gauntlet, to tempt you down to the sea temple. Anyway, the whole I'm trapping your town in darkness and winter until you conquer my temple sting isn't all that bad by itself, but here's why it doesn't work. What does the admin need a partner for? He's highly intelligent and all-powerful, capable of altering the position of stars and moons in the sky, and spawning creatures from thin air, and yet he wants a partner? Okay, let's assume he's just lonely and he wants someone to talk to. Cool. What's his plan? What does he hope to accomplish from all of this? I understand he admires Jesse's heroic actions from the past and he views him as worthy of his challenges, but for what purpose does he need a partner? What's his plan? If his plan is to suggest people to his challenges, that's not a conflict! We already freed the town from eternal winter. The only remaining conflict is to escape the prison and free Petra. Unless the admin has a secret plan that no one knows about, there is no reason for him to have a partner, and no reason to trap Jesse's town in eternal winter. And if his only motivations are that he's obsessed with Jesse and just wants him in his life all the time, first off, that's creepy. Second off, that's a lame motivation for a villain, especially one which was established as a highly intelligent and all-powerful. And none of this would be a problem if he wasn't advertised as such a as such a highly intelligent being, but he was, and that brings the whole story down. And furthermore, what's his backstory? Where did he come from? Did he build all the other worlds that we traveled to? Are there other admins throughout the Portal Network? The best villains are ones like Syndrome from The Incredibles, where you can understand the backstory, motivation, and plans of the villain while simultaneously rooting for the heroes. Here, we're only rooting for the heroes because we've known them for over a year, over 2 years actually, and we care a lot about when Petra is being kidnapped by the admin. Other than that, what has he done that's evil? And if you say, well, Pam, I didn't think he was evil, hee, I will say that doesn't correlate to this current situation. It's so hard to describe the admin. Does he think he's evil or not? Is he aware of his malicious acts? Oh wait, what malicious acts? Kidnapping Petra? Condemning the town to eternal winter? Why is he doing all of that? What are his intentions? Why magically now is he showing interest in the heroes when he didn't show interest in the first season? You could understand Palm's intentions while simultaneously rooting for the heroes, but the same does not apply here. However, I will say that if they flesh out his backstory, they more clearly establish what his plan is and why we should care, then they will be pretty good off. Because the admin is really the only problem with the season so far. Everything else is really spot on. He's just so confusing. What's his backstory? Why does he need a partner? What's his plan? Why is he sending us to a prison? We can only hope that these questions are answered sooner rather than later, but I guess it's time to find out. So, without further ado, let's dive into Episode 3 of Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Jailhouse Block. Let's do it.
Previously on Minecraft Story Mode.
The world can be a very scary place.
Oh!
Larger than life. And almost impossible to defeat. The stress of saving the world can turn even the best of friends against each other. And not everyone will be on your side.
What?
Some will try to take advantage of your kindness. But a true hero will know exactly what to do.
Whoa. What's going on?
But the scariest thing of all, even for the bravest hero, is discovering the villain is much closer than you think.
And we're already off to a horrible start. None of that was correct. I didn't freeze Stella. I didn't go with Lucas and Radar. Why was Radar narrating the opening? Okay, the only good thing is that Jesse's eyes are back to not being green. Oh my god, that was awful.
What the heck is this? Where's my stuff? The gauntlet! I hope Petra's okay wearing it. Gotta get back, find the admin, find my friends.
The guest will kindly follow the orange line in the floor to the check-in zone.
Ah, that's Donovan Patton, alright, yeah!
The guest will kindly follow the orange line in the floor to the check-in zone.
Hey, disembodied voice, where am I?
The guest will kindly follow the orange line in the floor to the check-in zone.
Yeah, I heard you.
Is something screwed up in my save file? Follow the orange line to the check-in zone. Thanks. Seriously, is something screwed up with the save file? I most definitely did not choose to free Stella.
Will kindly follow the orange line in the floor to the check-in zone, or else they get the lava.
Jeez, got it. Point made.
What if I just stand here? If I just stand here, am I actually gonna get the lava? I don't know. Anyway, I genuinely hope my save file isn't screwed up and that was just an error in the flashback. Because if my save file is screwed up, then I am going to be very, very mad.
Oh, look, an orange line.
Is that meant to be a passive-aggressive comment on me for looking at it? Look at Bedrock. I wonder what's interesting about Bedrock.
Bedrock? The admin said a place where I'd never see the light of day again. What is this place?
Are we on top of the Nether? No, because this Nether... We must be in the Nether, right? Obsidian wall... A Sunshine Institute? Huh. I wonder where they got that one from. What the f... I'm following the orange line. Wait. I come in peace. Hi.
Oh, don't mind Big Hank. He's just here to make sure all guests behave themselves.
Hello, Donovan Patton. Nice to meet your acquaintance.
Let's see. Oh, yes, Jesse. Welcome to the Sunshine Institute. It's a reformatory for people the admin has found difficult. I'll be your warden.
So the admin created this nut hut too, huh?
Of course. The admin is an endless source of building brilliance, including this beautiful behavioral adjustment retreat center. I'm sure we'll get along just famously.
So it's a prison.
Hey, no, we don't use the P word here.
But it is a prison.
Let's not challenge authority. The admin doesn't let us use that word, so we don't use that word.
The P
Understand?
word.
You know he's not here right now, right?
You never know.
Okay, then.
What about my friends? I need to get back. The admin put his gauntlet on one of them. Who knows what he's making them do?
He gave them the gauntlet? Oh, man, lucky them. That means they're the admin's favorite. How great would that be? I bet your friend is living it up. Enjoying the high life right by the admin's side.
Yeah, you have zero idea what you're saying.
Mind that attitude, Jesse. And if your friends are anything like you, they'll be making their journey to betterment right next to you, I'm sure. Now hang on a tick. I have another guest on my manifest.
Jack? Please don't say Jack.
Male, grizzled beard. Hair is described as majestic.
It's Jack.
Long list of aliases. Distract him.
Yeah, that's Jack.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesse, thank goodness I found you. This place
No,
is...
let's get out of here.
Okay, the pacing of that was all off.
You can't, it's too dangerous! Stop them! Associates!
The pacing of that was all wrong. Wait.
Can't believe what a mess we're in. And all because I didn't realize Voss was actually
So, wait a minute, it's a prison, you can just walk through the doors whenever the heck you want to?
manipulated, shammed.
Hey, the admin fooled everyone.
Also, the Sunshine Institute,
I should have known
not so subtle ripoff of Sunnyside Daycare.
better. And now the admin has Petra too. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this one.
Hey, sound the alarm!
We don't stand a chance without weapons.
And we run
Where?
wherever they aren't.
Okay, so the pacing of that was all off. We went from a casual... Reach the burrows. We went from a casual... Why would we go down? Oh, it worked. We went from a casual conversation with Donovan Patton, the warden, I guess. It was nice. First off, the introduction to the Sunshine Institute wasn't that dramatic at all. It just kind of happened, so the pacing of that was off. And then the pacing of the introduction to Jack was off. I mean, they introduced him. The pacing of his introduction wasn't that bad, But the pacing of how he just appears out of that who the heck knows where and then jumps on top of the warden, that was all off. The pacing of that entire section needed a lot of work. I really hope my save file isn't screwed up. Really, really hoping that it's not. Because if it is, I'll be very aggravated. Tell the story by who are these people? Well, that might be why the pacing was a little off. Never heard of these guys before.
Okay, we've got to figure out where we are. What is that?
It's a spider. Did you just ask what a spider is? Did you just ask what a spider is? I think you just asked what a spider is. Episode director Chris Reiser or Chris Reiser. I don't want to mispronounce names.
Great, more weird monsters.
Zombie inmates.
Are those zombies?
Hey, look it. What? Are they? Okay, Mirror's Edge.
This thing is endless. Jack.
Ah, no one cares. We don't need Jack.
Jesse, where are you?
Oh, just keep moving. We don't need Jack. Jesse, we don't need Jack. We don't need Jack. We don't need Jack. We don't need Jack. Oh,
I really wish I had that gauntlet right about now.
We didn't need Jack.
Yeah, maybe not this way. Oh, what are those things?
Oh, what the heck?
Stuff nightmares are made of.
I agree with you there. No, run the other direction. What the?
Of course, why would there be only one? It's never just one.
Chills just shot down my spine. Well, what the? Oh, well, that worked. That worked just dandily. And that's a gas. Yep, we're somewhere nether-centric. Something to do with our location is centered around the nether somehow. I don't want to take a drink because I feel like there's another quick time event right around the corner. Hey, hello, slimes.
This is getting bonkers.
Getting? Did the weird creepers not set you off? And oh, here we go. It's fun.
Nice moves.
Bouncing on slow. No more. No more. Oh. Okay then.
Look, Jesse! You gotta get to the top of that wall.
I feel like. Oh.
Oh, crud. Golem!
Well,
5 minutes, and already apprehended in an escape attempt.
great. That entire section was pointless.
That is just rude. Take this one to the mushroom.
The mushroom. Is it meant to be the box from Sunnyside Daycare?
And bring that one to my office. Now.
Okay, so I have a lot to say about that. First off, it was completely pointless. We just got brought back to the end anyway. Second of all, it seems like with these openings, they're trying too hard. Okay, you know what? We're going to end this episode off here. It seems like with these openings, they're trying too hard to go for something intense. Like, they opened episode 1... I guess episode wasn't that intense. Episode 2, they opened up with a battle with the admin. Episode 3 opens up with a pseudo prison escape sequence, which is completely pointless because we went back to the Sunshine Institute. I keep wanting to call it Sunnyside Daycare. To the Sunshine Institute. Anyway, so it was completely pointless. I'm pretty sure they only did that so that they could have an intense moment or an epic action sequence. Woo! Anyway, that's going to do this episode of Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. So, I would like to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, and also then this has been a game as 15. So now, saying, hope you have a finished day, and I'll catch you next time with some more Mario Kart No, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. Goodbye!